Hello guys, so I know a lot of you have asked me about this case and have asked me to cover this case. What happened to Jungkook with this HYBE shares and whether this is true or not. So here I am making a video about it. Now, I have thought about whether to cover this case or not, but I saw that there's some misinformation spreading, so I thought I'd better make a video about it. And also, I would like to express my huge respect to Jungkook yet again, and you will see what I'm talking about. So there's an article from 2 days ago. It's a bit belated, but we've been having a lot of issues to cover on this channel, as you know. So here we go. BTS it's an exclusive article released by Biz Hanguk or Biz Korea rather. Exclusive. BTS Jungkook's HYBE shares illegally transferred during military service due to identity theft. Court rules the transaction invalid. Jungkook recovers 500 stolen shares. So the good news is that he didn't lose a single share of his stock, at least from what we know so far. But let me read on. It has been revealed through Biz Korea's investigation that there was an attempt to illegally seize HYBE shares worth approximately 8.44 billion Korean won, which is around 6.3 million US dollars, owned by BTS member Jungkook. Now, here's the thing. The perpetrator exploited the fact that Jungkook was serving in the military and transferred 33,500 shares of HYBE stock to a new account without authorization. Of these, 500 shares were sold to a third party. 33,500 shares. That's about 50% of the entire shares that Jungkook owned as of 2023 December. At the time, he owned 68,385 shares to be exact. Now, we don't know whether he has sold or bought any shares since then, but assuming that he didn't make any transactions, that's about 50% of the amount of shares he owned. That's a lot, right? The incident occurred on January 6th, 2024, while Jungkook was undergoing basic training following his enlistment. Now, let me stop here again. Right now, if you are a soldier in the military, you get to use your cell phone, right? After you're done with your training and your work. So in the afternoon at around 4 p.m., 5 p.m.-ish, I forgot, you get to have your cell phone back. Although you had to return it to your supervisor before lights out around like 10 p.m.-ish. But during the basic training, you don't get to use your cell phone. So you're completely disconnected from the outside world. And the perpetrator took advantage of this window, right? The perpetrator opened 3 securities accounts under Jungkook's name without his consent and used them to unlawfully move and sell his stocks. A total of 33,500 shares were illicitly transferred without Jungkook's knowledge or approval. 33,000 shares valued at approximately 8.32 billion Korean won based on the January 5th closing price. January 5th. So January 5th, so right here at the time, it was like 252,000 Korean won. There you go. So 33,000 shares were moved to a newly created account in Jungkook's name, and 500 shares, which is worth about 126 million Korean won, were sold to a third party. So in March 2024, Jungkook filed a civil lawsuit against a third party who had purchased the 500 shares, requesting their return. In February 2025, so about a year later, the Seoul Western District Court ruled that no valid stock transfer agreements had been made and that Jungkook was a victim of identity theft. Good. The court ordered the third party to return these shares to Jungkook. Although the third party argued they had acquired the shares in good faith, meaning a legal principle that protects parties who unknowingly engage in transactions with illegitimate sellers, the court rejected this claim. The judge stated The third party proceeded with the transaction after hearing only that the shares belong to a major shareholder, without properly verifying the account holder's identity. This constitutes gross negligence. The third party had paid 20,000 USDT, which is a tethered cryptocurrency, interesting, in advance to the perpetrator when purchasing the shares. Although the buyer appealed the decision, they later withdrew the appeal in March 2025, finalizing the court's ruling. Good. However, the actual person responsible for the account theft has not been identified. Given that the individual had access to Jungkook's securities accounts ID and banking passwords, there's a possibility that someone close to him may have been involved. So that's what this journalist or what this media agency thinks, right? A source from a securities firm commented, it appears the perpetrator had access to all of Jungkook's financial information. There were even attempts to transfer cash in addition to the stocks. Wow. Jungkook's agency, BigHit Music, has been actively involved in the response. The company stated, as soon as the artist and the company became aware of the criminal activity, we took immediate action to freeze the accounts and restore the original state to prevent further damage. In addition to pursuing legal action, we have implemented enhanced measures to protect the artist's personal and device-related information to prevent future incidents. Now, according to Dispatch, who has also contacted BigHit, the perpetrator is a hacker. BTS Jungkook was a victim of a stock theft through hacking while serving in the military. BigHit Music told Dispatch on the 22nd, Jungkook was hacked during his military training after enlisting. The hacker attempted to illegally steal his HYBE shares, but the hacker who stole Jungkook's shares has not yet been identified. BigHit Music added, we have implemented stronger security measures to protect the artist's personal and device-related information in order to prevent this from happening again. So there you go. This is the information available so far. We don't have anything else, it seems like. So to summarize, gathering Jungkook's info, the hacker must have obtained his resident registration number, like the social security number, a copy or photo of his ID, and possibly mobile phone authentication or digital certificate using Korean financial services. And this info can be stolen via like device hacking before enlistment or phishing attacks, or possibly insider leak or compromise online accounts. So there are lots of possibilities. And they used his identity to open 3 securities accounts, stock accounts, and these were in Jungkook's name, but under the hacker's control, assuming that the perpetrator is a hacker, according to BigHit Music. And this process usually requires biometric or SMS verification, which raises questions about how the brokerage allowed it, right? And once the accounts were ready, the hacker transferred 33,000 shares from Jungkook's original account to the fake one, and this requires knowing the login credentials and or banking certificates, which is very sensitive information. They then sold 500 shares to a buyer, likely through an unofficial or crypto-based transaction. And as we have talked about, the hacker sold 500 shares for 20,000 USDT, which is a crypto, and cryptos was likely used to stay anonymous and avoid bank tracking, right? The buyer didn't check the ownership properly, which led to the court's ruling. Now, when it comes to the aftermath, BigHit froze the accounts after detecting irregular activity. So Jungkook filed a civil suit, won it, and got his shares back. The crypto transaction is harder to trace, which is likely why the hacker hasn't been caught yet. Now, I have summarized this case through Q&A format. So how could this happen during his military service? Because JK is in the military, his access to personal accounts, phones, or financial management is extremely limited. The hacker exploited this window when he couldn't actively monitor or respond. Number 2, how is he doing? So yeah, Jungkook has never mentioned about this incident publicly. But Big Hit has stated they acted swiftly and recovered their shares. So that suggests that things were handled before further harm was done. What said someone close to him? People ask. The first reports speculated that it might have been someone with inside knowledge, but Dispatch reported it was a hacker. So, but that doesn't rule out an insider helping the hacker, but nothing's confirmed yet. And I think this is where misinformation is originating from. And this is something that Jungkook um, solo fan is using to yet again claim that Jungkook should get the heck out of HYBE or Big Hit Music. But nothing's confirmed yet. And I don't know, from my perspective, it seems like Big Hit Music and HYBE have acted swiftly, and thank God that Jungkook didn't, have to go through any financial damage. How is Big Hit supporting him? They froze the account immediately, recovered stolen shares through legal action, and implemented stronger privacy and device security protocols to prevent future incidents. Has the hacker been caught? No, and that's what we're bothered by, right? As of the latest reports, the hacker has not been identified. This is why suspicions of insider access remain. The hacker had very specific information. 6. Was a securities firm at fault? The court criticized the third-party buyer for not verifying identity, but it's unclear if the brokerage firm that allowed the fake accounts to be opened is facing consequences. In general, they are expected to follow strict KYC, right? Know your customer rules, which appear to have been bypassed. 7. What was recovered? The 500 shares that were sold were returned to Jungkook through a court ruling. The rest, 33,000 shares, were illegally moved but not sold, and so likely recovered quickly. Did Jungkook lose money? Thank God, not directly, since the shares were returned and no significant loss was reported. But, of course, there could have been emotional stress and privacy violations, which are hard to quantify. Now, when it comes to emotional stress, it's incredible that Jungkook did not express that. Rather, he came to Weverse to communicate with his fans as if nothing happened, and that's what I'm most impressed by. You know, like imagine if I were him. I mean, he almost lost like what? How much? 8 billion Korean won. Like I would have been pissed if there was a chance for me to lose 800,000 Korean won even due to hacking. And I cannot imagine what I would have done. But instead, Jungkook came to Weverse to communicate with his fans with his usual calm and warm demeanor, right? So let's go back to the timeline. Back in January 17th, 2024, he said 단결, which means salute. And that was several days after the incident occurred, right? Whether he was aware of that, he must have been aware of that, right? Because Big Hit immediately froze the account. But that's the only thing he said. 단결, salute. March 16, he said, Army, are you doing well? I'm doing well too. I've been working out diligently. I even cleaned all the way up to the ceiling. Did a great job, if I say so myself. I'm also cooking well. It's already mid-March. I'll come back to visit again soon. I miss you very much. 단결, salute. So again, as if nothing happened. But remember, 500 shares, which is still a lot of money. That's 126 million Korean won, which is approximately like 100만, 1000억, 10억, 10만, 100만, 1000억, like 100,000 Korean won. 100,000 USD dollars. That's still a lot of money, and he didn't get that back until this year, right? So the court case has been going on for a while. Of course, we know that Jungkook is a rich man, but again, this is not just an ordinary amount. Like like I told you, I would be still pissed if there's a chance that I would lose like 800,000 won, or even, I don't know, just a tiny amount due to hacking. I would still be frustrated as heck. Um, and the fact that I have to go through a court case for this, but still, Jungkook, communicated with his fans. And what else? So April 14th, he said, since I can't brag about myself right now, I'll brag about my baby instead. Hope you all have a fun night. Bow wow bam tangyur. That's the Instagram account name for his puppy, right? And then what else? And then June 1st, he talked about RM's album. Jun Hyung's album is so good. He worked so hard. I really miss the members and ARMY. And then June 7th, ARMY, did you receive the song gift? Okay, haha, I hope you liked it. From the start, I worked on it while thinking about you. You might feel like the hook repeats a little long, but that's because it was originally meant to be a dance track in the house genre, a performance song, really. This one is the wanna let go, 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 wanna let go, go, that part, right? And J-Hope commented on the timing of the wording, I remember. But I couldn't make that happen due to the time constraints. I really wish I could turn back time and record it somehow. So I wanted to leave this message in hopes you would understand that part. I've been scolding myself for it. Anyway, I can't believe it's already the 11th anniversary. Haha. Thank you as always for being by my side. Please stay healthy and don't get sick. And then, yeah, throughout the year and this year too, he has been communicating with his fans through Weverse. Also thanking ARMY for wishing him happy birthday. Chuseok, he also came back, Korean national holiday. And then congratulating Jin and J-Hope for finishing their military service. And then, of course, the legendary Weverse Live that he pulled off out of nowhere and talked to his fans December 18th. While the court case was going on, right? So, such an incredible human being. Now, maybe some fans are scolding and criticizing BigHit music for, I don't know, being unable to prevent this case from happening. I recently came across this particular article. BTS flight information leak. Airline employee caught thanks to HYBE police collaboration. Illegal sale of celebrity flight info exposed. HYBE vows zero tolerance. So, as a shareholder, I monitor how HYBE is doing in order to protect artists' information and privacy. And I don't know, at least from my perspective, they're doing what they can, and they're doing their best. Although they're working harder and harder. But okay, first of all, let me translate this article for you. An employee of a foreign airline identified as Person A has been caught by police for illegally accessing and selling the flight information of BTS and other high-profile celebrities. According to industry sources, on the 4th, the person has been booked by police on charges of violating the Information and Communications Network Act. They are accused of unlawfully retrieving celebrity flight details and profiting from their sale. HYBE, BTS agency, formed a special task force in 2023 to track down cases of flight information leaks. Through close collaboration with law enforcement, they were able to identify and locate the person. It was revealed that the person sold the flight details at varying prices depending on how detailed the information was. Some of the fans who purchased this data boarded the same flights in attempts to make contact with the artist or deliberately cancel bookings to create confusion, causing direct harm to the artists involved. HYBE stated, "We will apply a zero-tolerance policy toward the criminal act of commodifying and trading an artist's personal information. There will be no settlements or leniency. We will pursue strict legal action to the very end." The incident has once again highlighted the urgent need for stronger airline security measures to protect the personal information of celebrities. So that's what I like and appreciate and respect about this company, zero-tolerance policy. And as a shareholder, I monitor their financial details, and each year they spend quite a lot of money on legal measures. They knowingly hire Kim and Jong, which is the best and the biggest law firm in Korea, to make legal actions. So they take legal actions and sometimes law related in collaboration with police to protect artists' privacy and artists' information. But of course, like if you are an artist as big as BTS, you're constantly being harassed by those who would like to take advantage of you, right? So it's impossible to prevent everything from happening. But I don't know. From my standpoint, they're doing what they can. But of course, Jungkook's case is extremely unfortunate. I cannot believe, such emotional distress that he must have gone through. But who knows? Maybe he was entirely fine because he's just an incredible human being, and he cares more about his fans and his music, his artistry than actually I'm not gonna make any judgment right now. I'm not gonna make guesses or even educated guesses. But from this, we have learned yet again that Jungkook is a very strong human being, even though lately during the Weverse Live, he mentioned how his self-esteem has been going down due to various reasons, and I'm pretty sure that's what military does to you, and as I've personally experienced, but he's strong. He's a strong man. And what was I gonna say? Hey, so I have also realized, and this is what I have thought about in the past, one of the negative sides of being a celebrity, a superstar, is that there's a bigger chance of you meeting more bad people than good people, as you become more and more famous. Um, so as an artist, you have to take care of yourself, and as an agency, you have to take care of your artist, right? So that those people, those snakes, who are always constantly trying to take advantage of artists for various reasons, like one of them being financially. And we need to protect them. And as fans, we should also try our best to protect our artists. So yeah, that was my thought of the day. And one last thing, Jungkook's superhuman personality, like how he uploaded this photo in support of New Jeans as artists. Artists are not guilty, and he even uploaded this photo, right? Don't use them. Although it later turned out I didn't really talk about this openly. New Jeans member, one of them, took advantage of this post at the time using phoning, an app for their fan communication. And I even made a video about this, right? How I respect Jungkook for his Instagram post as a shareholder. And I still do. I still do. Although, who knows what he thinks of the whole case now. And yeah, once again, I made this video because there was some misinformation spreading about this case. But I hope that this answered your questions. All right? So, there you go. Please, feel free to comment. But let's discuss while staying respectful, positive, and classy. Thank you guys. Peace, love. Bye-bye.